See, beyond the horse, sustainable transportation is probably an issue I'd like to see discussed a great deal in the coming municipal election. And that doesn't mean bike lanes, or I mean it does mean bike lanes, but it doesn't only mean bike lanes, which is sort of the thing that, as far as sustainable transportation goes, that's what news is around. That's the discussion that's happened. I'd like to see what the candidates think about not just the structural bike lanes, but the cultural. How do we shift to a culture of people who commute by bicycle? And it's entirely possible to do in this community. I'll guarantee it. I've done it for 4 years now. 4? So I can guarantee it's a cyclable community. As I was saying earlier, I think our family has been back in Owen Sound for 4 years, maybe a little over 4 years, and we didn't have a car when we moved here. We got rid of it before we came back to Owen Sound, and then we just never bothered to get one. And I'm not really not great camera work there to go along with this story. The point was, however, that the community is cyclable, but the reason I was pointing at this stuff is that that also means you have to have the right tools. So I think a lot of people get down on cycling culture, or the idea of like commuting, because it seems, I don't know, it's hard, or they don't have the right gear. And it really doesn't take anything. Any bike will do it. You just have to get over the, I missed my glass and steel box with the motor. Once you've done that, and you know, if you're a family, you got things like, boom, like this is a Chariot that has only ever been in stroller format. There's the child hauling machine. There was child hauling machine version 1, which we dragged around for 2 winters through Owen Sound. When we lived not as close to downtown, like we're dead downtown, and before we were at 17th Street West. Easily could say at that point in time that I biked 320 days out of the year. And that trailer got hauled around an awful lot, getting groceries at the AMP, now Metro, and towing the boy to and up 9th Street West. Finny, ate the barbecue. To get him to nursery school. And then so just, there's a variety of bikes and other random things in here, and the trail bike and the kids' bikes, and then the bike that gets me around town most often. That's how you live car-free, and then you rent when you need ones, or you borrow, or you get a ride. Like my parents will help get that to the composting facility. That's a little bit more on the how-to, the geared up. So what does a culture of sustainable transportation look like? Things like the ride share that is being discussed and worked on at the Local Motive project is a good example of a bigger picture sort of take on the sustainable transportation thing, and connectedness of varied modes of transportation. So things like the bike racks on buses, I think works kind of really well. But I think we also need bike racks on vehicles that go further distances, perhaps. It might be more practical, because it's with 7 minutes. Hills are kind of hard. It's not 15 minutes by bike to anywhere that the bus goes. So the racks maybe save you the hill, but it's really not terribly efficient for connecting with the bus just to get your bike up the hill. Nor is it really required. It's good physical fitness and exercise. So so sustainable transportation speaks to the health of the community, in fact. There's all kinds of reasons that it's interesting, something to be talked about. If you travel around town by bike more, you get to know your neighbors better, because you pull up alongside them at a stoplight and they're right there. No windows, no glass, no steel, no disconnect from the community that you're in. So the life at the bike pace and the bike level in a community, it makes for better living. It's the place I want to live. Personally, anyways. And I think I'd like to see more people or more discussion around, is that practical? Does it make sense? And do we as a community look at it as a strength and a reason that a bikeable community is a big deal to a lot of people. A lot of people. People are culty crazy about bikes. And so, not just to be the bike culture community or the bike lane community, but something special, something more. That's the kind of thing that I want to see. I'd love to see ideas like that forwarded by our council candidates. Cheers, Ryan. I'll talk to you more about sustainable transportation and other municipal election issues. If you've got, I don't like the word issue, it's so dramatic. Things that you think should be discussed in the current municipal election, you want to let us know. At Owen Sound or at Wiseman on Twitter, easiest way to get a hold of me, and or theowen.com would also work. Cheers.